What I said was, and other people like me, was abandon your $10 subscription, do these microtransactions, it will be great, you'll make more money. And a number of people did that. World of Warcraft hasn't, but they've got 12 million subscribers and $1 billion in revenue. I can see why they don't. The nearest compared to them has got about 300,000 subscribers, and most people who are trying don't succeed. So Dungeons & Dragons Online, Lord of the Rings Online, they've, actually I should have changed that, Lord of the Rings has now gone. Their revenues went up 5-fold when they went free to play with these microtransactions. They made more money. And pundits like me thought, look, when you remove the subscription, people will spend a bit here and a bit there. It's a really good way of making money. And we were so wrong. We were so wrong about the reason. The outcome is true. The reason is wrong. And the reason is that it's not about letting users choose how little to pay. It's about letting them choose how much. And the true way in which people want to consume media is in this parallel. Over at the right-hand end, most people want to consume most content for free. Over at the left-hand end is how much some people are prepared to pay, $100,000 in Marit's extreme example. To take one German games company, they've got 130 million registered users, which is a lot. They made 60 million euros in revenue in 2009, which is also a lot. Those of you from traditional media are probably trying to go where you're making 50 cents per user. But actually, 80% of that revenue, 48 million euros, comes from only 23,000 people. So that's not 10% of their audience, it's not 1% of their audience, it's not 0.1% of their audience, it's 0.02% of their audience. Represent pretty well their entire business, spending an average of $2,000 a year. What are they buying? All sorts of things. One of their games is a pirate game, and you can buy a galleon for $1,000. They haven't sold many, only 800, but they're pretty cheap to make these things. And why are they selling them? Pretty cheap to make. The entire game's bloody expensive to make, and you give that away for free. I believe in the long run that it will be impossible to sell basic access to content. We will all expect to get basic access to content for free. How many people in the room have kids under 3? Okay, so I've got kids under 3, and I don't own any kids' DVDs, which I think would have been inconceivable 3 years ago. But between the BBC iPlayer and a PVR, I can get as many episodes of Chuggington and Bob the Builder and In the Night Garden as I possibly need. I won't pay for access to content. I've got stickers coming out of my ears for all of those things, because those are things which aren't digital, which are physical, which are about my interaction with my son. If he asked for a DVD for Christmas, a social transaction, not an access transaction, he would get one. But simply to get access to that content, I think he will believe very, very soon. It's already speaking to, why would you pay for that when there is all of this stuff for free? And the sensible companies, the ones who work this out, are going, you know what, this is true. Free is how people find what I do. And my job is to move people up the curve, away from the people who like this to free, to segment out the people who love what I do, enough to pay $100, $500, $100,000. How do we make money from that power law? There are different frameworks. I should change this because this isn't mine, this is Social Gold's. I use minnows, dolphins and whales. Some people use this kind of feudal structure. Free players have no value to you directly in cash. Some people will spend a little bit of money, and the hardcore users will spend $1,000 over the lifetime. I mean, I think that's pretty low. It's probably more than that. Big Point has users spending $2,000. There's a game in Russia, a medieval combat game, where once a month they sell one suit of Kevlar armour, so deeply out of place, for $50,000. And there's always a queue. They always manage to sell it. So what you need to do is offer people value. People in the room who I'm sure are thinking, but it's just virtual goods, why has it got value? Do you really believe that the disc that you spend $10 for a piece of music has any intrinsic value? Because I don't. If you've ever spent $25 on a t-shirt, or 25 quid on a t-shirt, rather than 5, because it's got a branded label, you're not paying for the t-shirt, because you can get just as good quality t-shirt for a £5. If you've ever viewed the idea that a Prada handbag is worth more than the same Prada handbag that came through the back door without the brand, you're paying for something else. You're paying for status, you're paying for expression, you're paying for identity.